Finding Light After the Darkness, a man's journey through survival, suicide, and second chances. Welcome to the Power of One Voice podcast. Today we share the raw and unfiltered journey of a man who's stared death in the face through a suicide attempt and a 100-mile-an-hour motorcycle crash, and yet found his light. On the other side, he speaks openly about how strangers believed in him when he couldn't believe in himself, and how those moments of grace shaped his will to live and inspire. This is more than just a survival story. It is about rediscovering purpose, staying true to yourself, and realizing you are stronger than you think. Welcome, Tiger. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
So we're going to start with, what does the Power of One Voice mean to you personally?
Being able to inspire others. That is what the power of one's voice can do.
Okay. What inspired you to finally share your story publicly?
Just realizing that, there's other people out there with a similar story, and maybe if they had somebody to talk to, and not just keeping it within themselves, they wouldn't have gone through that alone and felt like they had somebody there.
Okay. Can you tell us the meaning behind your logo and why it matters?
Oh, yes. So, I can bring one of them up. So this right here, it looks like a feather. The reason why it looks like a feather is to represent the Native American in me, and the tiger represents my spirit animal, and I'm very spiritual. So if anybody knows anything about tiger's blood represents strength, and that's why I put it on the heart, put it over the heart. And then on the back of here, I have the kanji. It says love. And the reason why I put the kanji love on the back is to remind you to love yourself. And the reason why I did that is because there was a point in time when I did not. And so this is just a reminder.
Okay. That's pretty awesome. Who first believed in you when you didn't believe in yourself?
Hippie.
I'm sorry?
Hippie.
Hippie?
Yeah, she's right here.
I see her. Okay. And how did strangers' faith in you shape your healing?
I guess just realizing that sometimes you can be blind by all the stuff that you're going through, but even going through that, people on the outside can truly see something within you that you don't at that time.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what are you saying that I'm not seeing? I don't understand. And I guess it's because, just like you said, like I was saying, you got just so much stuff going on, you can't see it. But those people who don't see everything that you got going on, they just see you.
Right. Yeah. So let's go into the darkness. Can you share what led up to your suicide attempt?
Just feeling like I wasn't enough and just not worthy. I was just going through a dark ass phase in my life where just everything was crumbling down. I felt like the biggest disappointment to my family. It was just like, I just didn't want to be here anymore. I didn't have it in me. I didn't think I had it in me to continue on, and I was just fed up. I was, partying every night just to find somewhere to stay at that night. Doing a lot of Dr. Uggs, and that caused me to just go off the edge, and it just took one more thing, and I was just like, I'm just done here. So, like the samurai, hold on, let me get this here. Like the samurai, I'm a big strong believer in the Bushido code and the samurai way of life, and so I tried to take myself out like a samurai. I don't know if you guys know anything about that, but that's with a very small blade, like a katana, and you take it to your stomach. And when I did that, my guts were hanging out. The ambulance came rushing in because they called for him, and I had to go under anesthesia to get myself cut open so they could put my insides back in. But when I do my stuff, and they all have a story behind it, so that's why this samurai is here. The samurai represents my warrior spirit, and this tiger represents my spirit animal.
Wow. In that moment, what did you want people to understand about your pain?
In that moment,
Yeah.
I wasn't in that moment. I wasn't worried about what anybody thought about my pain. I just didn't want to be here anymore.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying it was more so like when I say it was a snap, like it was like one last thing happened. I just was like, fuck it. It wasn't even too much of a thought. It was I snapped and took action.
Wow.
It was like you're on that edge, and one more person came and pushed you, and you just said whatever. Doesn't even matter anymore.
What was the hardest part of deciding to stay alive?
Say that again.
What was the hardest part about deciding to stay alive? Like after your recovery and not trying it again, what was the hardest part?
Worrying about if a time like that is ever going to come up again, and to think about like, are those thoughts going to ever come across my mind? Am I going to ever feel like I'm not enough to a point where I don't want to be here anymore?
Okay. How do you view that moment now when you look back?
Of course, like, well, now I just thank God, the universe, I should say, that I'm still here and I'm able to be able to tell people the story and be able to uplift them and let them know that they're not alone. And sometimes you just need to do more of the reaching out than outside of just your friends, because sometimes you're just so worried about your friends judging you that you don't speak to them about what's really going on in your life.
So
I just had a friend recently, he knows me. He said he didn't reach out to me in a while because he had been through some things, and he relapsed, and he didn't want to come talk to me because he thought I was going to judge him. And you see what I'm saying? Like that's the kind of stuff that people worry about. Like if you're a good friend of theirs, they're worried about you're going to judge them, and that prevents people from opening up.
Yeah, it really does. How did Hippie help you?
Well, Hippie is my love. I don't know if you guys know that. That's my love right there. And from the time that we were together, oh man, she was just a big old butterfly in my life, just ready to go do it, ready to be about it. When I first got into this, we got together, I'm also an EDM producer and DJ. That's another reason why I cover up my face, because I don't want people to tap into that and try to put these two things together. But we met at a show. It was my first big show, and it was her first time coming to a show. And I spotted her out from the time that she came up in there, and I was like, I'm gonna go check her out. And it sounds like a love story. I'm not even lying to you. If she came there with a friend that she met on Tinder, she was just on there to meet people, not necessarily to date, whatever. Right. But he was trying to act like he had all the sauce. He was like, "Oh, you want to meet the DJ? I could let you meet the DJ." And he fucked up. he fucked up, And I don't know. I'm honestly, I have really bad social anxiety. I am a very shy person. So the fact that when I saw her, and when I saw her, I picked her up in the air, kind of spun her around, and said hello. And that's not me. That's not how I react. That's not what I do. And, I don't think I've ever approached a woman in my life to talk to them, but it was just something about her that just took that all over. And, we talked for the rest of the night. Mind you, I don't like it doing a lot of talking either. I did, I talked to her until the end of the night, and we just made sure that we stayed connected. And then we got together, and we've been together almost 9 years now. And
Amazing. So out of this, you got love out of this as well.
right. And and let me tell you, when I was doing my thing with the music and stuff, like it didn't matter if we needed to travel, if we needed to get some merch, she was on it. You know what I mean? She was on it. Sometimes it'd get to a point where like if she felt like I was slacking off, she was the fire under my ass, like, hey, we need to get you to do this. Like, why are you not doing it? And at first it got annoying because I never had anything like that.
Right.
And so I just didn't understand it. And then I just realized that when you need to load up and go, yeah, our first trip was straight to Atlanta. And now we've been together almost 9 years. We have traveled all across the states. Like, we've done so many festivals. We've been to so many shows together. And we've done that all together, just traveling across the states. And it's a lot to have somebody like that with you.
So are we talking twin flame status here?
Oh, yeah.
What's on
Awesome.
that puke? What's on
Oh, yeah.
What's on that? Nana?
So
What's on that?
nothing. If you could speak to yourself in that moment, what would you say? This is going
That
back
right there.
to the
Right there. What he just said. You're stronger than you think.
yeah. Oh yeah, and this song actually is designed specifically for you. I don't know if you heard the words of it.
Yeah, I was listening. That's awesome. She said it. She said, we're forever mates.
I seen that. Let's talk about the motorcycle accidents. Can you walk us through the 100-mile-an-hour accident?
Yeah, so that was crazy. I was with a friend. We were coming back from a music festival. Him and I had both worked the festival for we would do 16-hour days, and we did that for about 5 days straight. And so we got the break. We got to Burger King, and mind you, we were working a lot, so we really didn't eat that much. And we worked, we played, had a good time, whatever. Anyway, we got to Burger King. He ate 6 cheeseburgers in under 30 minutes. So let's
Wow.
put this in mind. And where we have a 2-hour drive on a motorcycle back home, and we get about 45 minutes out before we're home, and I'm on the back of the bike, and I like looked up and I realized, instead of his head being up like this, it was down. And I was like, oh shit, he's asleep. And by the time I went to go tap him, we were already at a whiskey throttle. And I don't know if you guys know what that is. A
Yeah.
whiskey throttle is basically when your wrist is locked onto the throttle, you can't let go. So he caught the whiskey throttle because he fell asleep, and that sent us into a ditch at 100 miles an hour. Mind you, I got tossed almost like a football field away from the motorcycle. So people who didn't even know that I was there, they only saw my friend, and it took an 18-wheeler stopping. He went to go run to my friend, but he just happened to look back and he saw me. So him and a woman came up holding my hand as I rested until the ambulance got there to take me to the hospital. And I separated my collarbone. I fractured, tore a meniscus in my knee, and I tore my Achilles. So I wasn't supposed to be walking for a hot ass minute. And then right out the hospital, I end up going to perform at a festival that next day.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the hippie was like, "You sure you want to go perform?" And I was like, "You sure you want to sit in the house while I mope around? You don't want that." You know what I mean? Going to get to play the one festival I wanted to play.
Yeah.
And, I was like, "Hell nah!" We strolling up there. Hippie is a strong woman. She pushed me on that mountain in a wheelchair.
That's amazing. You go, hippie. What was the first thought you went through? You went through your mind when it first happened? I'm sorry.
Thinking about my family and wondering if I was actually going to get through it, because I was like pretzel. My body was like a pretzel in the ditch. I didn't know what happened. I know I would. They told me not to move my neck. I didn't know if my neck was messed because there was so much adrenaline going on. I didn't know what was actually happening to me. And then once the adrenaline went away and the pain kicked in, I realized what was happening, and then I got pissed. I was like, I swear to God, if I am not able to dance no more, I'm gonna be mad as fuck. And then Hippie bought me this jacket that's an electronic jacket that keeps you warm, but they had to cut it off me. And I was like begging them not to cut it off me and shit. I was like, please no. Like, I need this jacket. But they had to cut it off. But yeah, once I realized I was good, I was just in pain. Lots and lots of pain. And then it was just going through the struggle. Bless bless this earth like with a woman named Hippie or with the Hippie, because for the longest time she had to bathe me. He had to and it hurt me too, being a man and not being able to do anything. And I just watched my woman come back and forth from work and still having to work because I can't do anything. And it was hurt. It hurt me a lot. But, she's a strong woman. We're still rocking with us today. And it's not easy. We went through it during that time. We still argue. We still got in our shit. And it was mainly because we were just both hurting and, just
Yeah.
going through it.
So, how did that accident? Let me go back. How close did you come to losing your life that day?
Well, let's just say 100 miles an hour on a motorcycle is pretty damn close.
Did you have a helmet on?
Huh?
A helmet. Did you have a helmet on?
Yes, I had a helmet on. But yeah, 100 miles an hour. I would say pretty damn close. There was a point in time where I just didn't know where I was going to be, and I was just like, if this is it, then I just hope that everything is good with my family. But here, so that told me after skipping out on DEF 2 times. That told me I got something here to be. I got a lot to live for, and I got a lot to be doing, and my story is here to be told, so we can have some more survivors.
Okay. How did that accident change your perspective on how you lived your life or the things that you were going through?
I'm already a very happy person. It doesn't, I don't need much time. I'm a very low maintenance friend. I'm not one of those people that you got to check up on every day, but when you come check up on me, come check up on me. So for me, it was just like, I've already, after the first thing that happened to me, I was already appreciating life. But after the second thing, it was like, hey, you got to get on your shit. Like, you only got one of these to live. And that's why I go so hard for what I do. That's why I'm up here every single day, even though the days I don't want to be, because all it's going to take is that one step to be exactly where I need to
be. Yeah.
So it just, things like that, it just pushed me to want to go harder.
Did it teach you any lessons about fragility or strength?
I wouldn't necessarily say it taught me anything in a sense. I guess it taught me more about myself, especially during those times, and just seeing how hard I would still fight for whatever. I got out of the hospital the next day and I headed straight to a music festival. So it just showed me how relentless I am. And that's what I learned from it, is that you can't stop me, even if you stop me.
Yeah, 2024, my dog about took my whole left foot off, damaged my Achilles, and I went to work the next day. I had 17 stitches in the back of my foot. I get it. Finding the light. When did you begin to feel like you had truly found your light?
I want to say when I started doing music and just expressing myself through music and realizing that that it's not just me on stage blaring big jams. It's actually like helping people get through something and realizing when people are coming up to me and they're like, "Hey, you don't know what you did for me," and stuff like that. It's just like, I don't realize it. I could just
Yeah.
be up here talking with y'all and just having a discussion. I'm just up here being myself, but not realizing that it's actually inspiring others. People are out there listening. And I was talking to Hippie about this the other day. I was like, you know, I got up here not realizing I actually got a voice, and because I don't hear how I sound to y'all, but other people are telling me how I have such a voice that people listen. And I was
Mm.
like, well, I'm going to use that as a gift to help people grow and help inspire others to do what they love doing.
Yeah. Sorry. What role did faith and spirituality or belief play in your healing?
Well, I'm a very, very spiritual person. Um, so part of that healing was just knowing that, I'm going to get through this. You know, some people, and this is not to knock anybody that is religious or anything. This is just me.
Right.
Some people say when they are almost near death that they find God. But with my two near death experiences, I found myself.
Yeah.
And so it's just like it let me know more about myself and those experiences that I had. And to be able to still kick it here and be able to share my story with people, that lets me know that I'm here to help heal others, whether it's through music, whether it's through clothing, whether it's through being able to talk with me. Um, so it's just a blessing to be able to know that. I also went to go get my aura read. I don't know if you know what that is, but I had
I
an
do.
aura read.
I'm spiritual as well.
Okay, so here we go. Let me show you. Let me turn
And
the
and
other light.
and I didn't know about you and Hippie, but I follow Hippie as well.
So, this is my aura chart. My strongest aura is purple.
Okay.
So that's why I chose purple as the color of this jacket. Like when I choose colors, it has a meaning behind it. I don't just like throw up a whole bunch of shit and expect people to buy it. I want people to understand the story, and that's why I do what I do. But right here it says your mental state is social and you're a natural healer, and the energy flowing into your field is ethereal and of a higher dimension. So I take heed in that, and so I use those things as my gifts to be able to help others. And I was also told that I am a soft leader. And when he told me that, I was like, "What the fuck is that?" I took offense at first. He called me soft and shit. I was like, "What is that?" He was like, "No, no, it's more so like you're a leader in a way where you lead by um you lead by your actions, and people just follow. You don't have to be so loud about how you lead."
Right.
And I was okay, I understand that now, and it made sense. And once I got that reading, it made me just want to tap into who I am even more to express my gift to be able to help others. I know I have the gift of gab. I know I can talk to people. So let me use that gift to be able to help others.
That's how I started the Power of One Voice. Somebody said I had several people within a week tell me I had the gift of gab. So I was like, let's do it. Um, how has sharing your story helped you heal even more?
Um, well, I think the first time I actually shared it like that was up here I did it in a video, and then I talked about it during my live because I was explaining the samurai and everything. And it's just like when you talk about it, it just helps release all those things that you have bottled up about it. Because we all know, I mean, that's how I got there in the first place, was having all those things bottled up.
Yeah,
So it's just I do know it's best to like be able to release it, have somebody to talk to, or even if you don't have nobody to talk to, find a way to release it so that tension, that feeling, that emotion is not bottled up with you.
absolutely. What gives you hope on your hardest days?
What gives me hope?
What gives
Uh,
you hope now on your hardest days?
the way my little ninja looks up to me.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, he like even his assistant principal, he said his assistant principal tells me he's like, yeah, man, you're his superhero. And like he looks up to you a lot and talks about you a lot. And so that's what it is right there. Just to know that he believes in me. Like he knows I do the TikTok thing and he's like, Daddy, you're gonna get there one day. I already know it. He's 9 years old. And just to know that he believes in me like that.
Okay. What does resilience mean to you?
Oh man. Like Aaliyah, pick yourself up and try again. you know, and that's what we're. You might not think that you built for that shit, but if you got up once, you can get up twice, and you just keep going. Like, like I said, I've missed out on not being here twice. That's part of it. I've been told no several times. I've not had the money to be able to start my clothing brand, but that didn't stop me from doing it.
Right.
Didn't know anything about having a clothing brand, but that didn't stop me from doing it.
Okay.
Oh, and by the way, I just started this clothing brand March 1st of this year.
Yeah, I know I've been following you. What does staying true to yourself mean to you?
It means not letting anyone cloud your thoughts of what you really feel, no matter who's around, no matter what's being said. Staying true to yourself, like how I do. I know I'm a weird person. I already knew that when I dropped my clothing line, it wasn't going to be everybody's cup of tea, and it's just because it's different. It's not what everybody's looking for. But I didn't let that stop me. I was like, well, the right people will come. Your vibe attracts your tribe, and that's a true statement. And so I just keep sending that signal out, keep sending those frequencies out, and the right people will tune in.
Absolutely. Have you ever felt pressure to conform or did you resist at all?
Yeah, I've always resisted. I've always resisted from the time where there was music, fashion, or just you know, I'm originally from Durham, North Carolina. That's predominantly like hood ass area, and I grew up there, and then I told myself that I didn't want to be into that stereotypical box of what they think of us. So, I did many, many different things, and that just kind of helped me see more of myself. Like when
Right.
you actually just like open up and go do things out of your normal, what you think is your normal, you start to find out more about yourself.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like I
I
go
do. I
hiking.
do. I really do because I seen the like I did an autism awareness jacket the other day and I wanted to because I started my own line last week and for the power of one voice and I wanted to go outside the box of the puzzle pieces and the infinity signs and I didn't want to do awareness. I wanted to do acceptance because we all know what it is, right? We're all aware of what it is. So I wanted to do the movement on acceptance, not awareness. And so I tried to go that route. So yeah, I completely understand. Um, how do you protect your sense of identity today?
In the sense of like my branding or
However you take the question.
how do guys can you ask it again?
However you take the question. What does that mean? Like, what
Okay.
does it mean to
Can you
you?
ask it again?
How do you protect your sense of identity today?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to answer that.
Okay.
Hmm.
What is one quality you value the most about yourself?
How genuine I am with people.
Okay. Anything else?
Um, I would say I have a really big heart, so it's just like I, you know, I do my best to give people chances and sometimes I will look past what most people see in them, just like how it was done for me. So, with the things that I've been through in the past, I like to give people chances. Not like overboard with the chances, but it's just like you might see this person as an asshole, but me, I look at people, I'm like, well, why are they like that? And then I try to dig deeper to be able to help them with that situation.
Like what happened to them?
Yeah. That's I look at like that for a lot of people. I just look at it like, I was given a chance because I knew who I was in my past. I know I wasn't the greatest person, and people still gave me a chance.
Yeah.
So, I like to do that back for people. I like to, I will see something in you that most people don't want to see, or they refuse to, or whatever. And it's like, hey, there's a reason why they got here. No, it's not an excuse to continue to do that, but let's try to help them figure it out.
Right. Sorry. What advice would you give someone who feels like they're not enough?
Hmm. Someone that feels like they're not enough. Um, I would just ask them to remind themselves where they're at, and how far they have come now. Because
Okay.
sometimes like, even here's an example. I've been having this business since March, and sometimes I get in my head that I feel like I'm not doing enough. I haven't done the things that need to be done. But then I talk to my friends about what I got going on. And they look at me and they're like, "How long have you been doing this?" I'm like, "Yeah, like, 6, 7 months." They're like, "Man, you need to give yourself
Daddy.
more gratitude. You need to give yourself more gratitude because look at what you've done. You've done these collabs. You've already flew across the states to do another collab. You've had celebrity artists wearing your stuff on a stage that got 200,000 people there.
Yeah.
And this is just in my first year, and I'm already having people come in, leaving good reviews for the stuff. So it's like, hey, you've actually come a lot further than you have. So just think about where you're at and where you've come from whenever you feel like you haven't done enough, or if you feel like or if you feel like you're not enough."
Okay. Why do you believe reaching out is a sign of courage and not weakness?
He said, "Why do I believe it's a sign of courage?"
Uh-huh. And not weakness.
Um, because for one, everybody needs to be able to reach out to somebody, and I think it takes a lot of courage to realize that and know that, hey, like, maybe I don't really want this person knowing I got this going on in life, but it might just help me to get it off my chest. They may have a solution or anything like that, so you don't want to just hold it because to me it sounds like you're just scared to let people know. So that's why I feel like it takes courage to be vulnerable. It does,
It really does.
you know.
I'm glad you said that because it really, really does. Um, how can others support loved ones who are struggling?
Um, just try to be understanding. Like, the best thing you can do is try to understand, and don't try to come up with solutions. Don't like, if they're talking to you, don't just be trying to give them off a whole bunch of solutions. Just listen to them in that time. And then when you have another time, you give them some solutions when they're actually listening. Because when somebody wants to vent to you, that is your time to listen to them, not hear it. Because if you're just hearing them, that only means you're hearing it so you can have something back to say. What you need to do is just listen. And if you're listening, your lips aren't moving.
That's right. What do you think people want to know about survival after a suicide attempt?
How to continue overcoming those thoughts?
Okay. That it?
Yeah, I think because it's almost like somebody who was an addict, they're still an addict. They just overcome those things, and they still have those temptations. they just, have that willpower to, not go back. Because I have friends that they've been off for 15 to 20 years and they still have those temptations. So it's just
Yeah.
having that willpower not to do so.
Okay. How do you define strength?
Strength isn't necessarily something, I mean, it is physical, of course, but I feel like strength is something that you endure from things that you go through.
Okay.
And so,
Makes sense.
and
And how-
somebody may, and I can't say that for everybody because there's some people will go through things and it puts them in a different lens versus like somebody who went through something and I'm like, hey, I don't want somebody else to go through that, or I don't want to be like that towards somebody else. So let me make sure I don't do that. And somebody else could go through that same thing and that turns them to being that person that they didn't want to be or had those things done to them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to say?
I do.
Okay.
I understand. I'm sure everybody else understands. Um, so what's with the why do you always cover yourself?
So for one, this is part of like I do have really bad social anxiety. Two, as I was saying earlier, I'm also an EDM producer and DJ. So I like to keep my clothing brand and my music separate. And three is just my clothing brand is like kind of like the Ghost of Tsushima. It's like the samurai and the ninja, and I'm representing the ninja right now. So of course, behind the scene or right here, you don't see any of the ninjas or samurais. They just appear when they need to, and that's who I am.
Okay. What message do you want or hope that your listeners are taking from your story?
Um, I want my listeners to understand that, as we were saying before, you are more than enough, and you just, you have to look yourself in the mirror sometimes and just tell yourself, hey, we've been here before and we can do this shit again many
Right.
times over. Many, many times over. You know how many times I done been down, back up again, and the only thing it's done is just made me stronger.
Okay.
I've been through it all. I've been through almost dying twice. I've been homeless. I've been, really bad on Dr. Uggs and, not knowing if I was gonna, still be here.
Yeah.
So it's just those things. It keep. It, I just want people to continue to keep pushing, and I just wanted to be able to inspire. And as far as the clothing line, it's just like I use that to help express myself through art. And there's many others that are just like me that have social anxiety that don't really go out and speak much, but they want to wear a piece of art that represents something for them. And that piece of art can also be a conversational piece. And that conversation is going to come from people that understand that kind of art, you know?
Yeah.
Like when I'm out and about and I have my gear on, the kind of people that come up and talk to me about my gear are the kind of people that I want to talk to. So it makes me
Right.
easier for me to have a conversation.
Right.
I'm not,
To
I'm
like-minded
not
people.
knocking people, but I'm an energy sensitive person. So I don't just run up and talk to people. But like I said, when you have a conversational piece on, the right kind of people come up and talk to you. And
Yes.
so that's what I want to do for people that aren't so big and bold on with words, but they're big and bold with their expression. And that's
Right.
why for my motto is be bold, be wild, be fierce.
Okay. What do you want your children to take or generations to see from your journey?
That no matter the trials that you go through, you can always succeed, and you just got to keep pushing through.
Okay. Um, how has vulnerability made you stronger?
Mm. It lets me, it allows me to know that I can speak about the things that I've gone through in the past and open up. And opening up takes strength. being vulnerable takes strength. So that's I believe it has done that for me. Just being able to, let that off my chest
Yeah.
and breathe.
Yeah, you're right. What keeps you moving forward when the old wounds resurface, or do they?
No, not haven't had any old wounds resurface or anything like that. I, I like I said, I go about my day pretty smoothly. I don't, and I haven't had a moment where it locked me in like that ever since that has happened. So it's just, I just look forward to being able to, just love my life, do what I want to do.
Okay. Give me one sentence that would summarize your journey.
One sentence that would summarize my journey. Give me 1 second
You're
here.
fine.
Hmm. I would say my journey has been the life of some magical beginnings.
Okay. What would you say to somebody who was contemplating suicide or thinking that their life wasn't enough or not wanting to be here anymore? What would you say to that person to save
And
them?
before I answer that question, to reiterate on back on that is more so saying like, um, damn, I forgot. Oh shit, I had something going for you and I forgot what I was going to tell you. But as far as the suicide one, if somebody felt like they wanted to do that, I would tell them to, try to think back what is making them feel that way and how did they get to that point. And if they felt like somebody was there for them, would they still feel like that's what they wanted to do?
Okay.
Because sometimes you just need to understand what got them to this point. They
Right.
didn't all of a sudden want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't all of a sudden want to do it.
So you want to know what led up to the issue.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, what does stay rare mean to you?
Say that again.
Sorry, what does stay rare mean to you?
It's like that. It's like that one movie. It says, "Stay golden, pony boy."
The outsiders.
Yeah. It's not too many. It's not too many of us out there. So
You're right.
you got to stay golden. Be that. Be the one. Be the one that's different from everybody else. Don't follow towards the norm.
Right.
And that's what I have to do. I don't like doing what everybody else is doing.
Yeah. That was the last question. So I want to thank you for joining the Power of One Voice podcast. Today's story is a reminder that even in the deepest, darkest light can be found. Survival is not just about making it through, it's about becoming who you were always meant to be. If you or someone you love is struggling, know that reaching out is a sign of courage, not weakness. Keep staying true to yourself because your story has the power to inspire and heal others. Until next time, stay rare, stay strong. I have some resources. 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, dial or text 988. The National Alliance on Mental Health Illness is nami.org/help. The crisis text line, text HOME, HOME, to 741-741, and the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. It is afsp.org. Auto Blackout.
Again.
what?